Mexican fans.
And most importantly, thank you to those fans that have come and supported the band continually from Mexico. We can't wait to start the tour.
Dicen que una disculpa por su falta de español, pero muchas gracias por venir y porque esta es una gran manera de empezar el tour en Latinoamérica y en México. Mencionan que están muy emocionados y muy agradecidos con la gente que ayudó a armar este tour, así que pues mueren por ver a los fans y poder iniciar en México.
Muchas gracias, Dani. Comenzamos con las preguntas. Por favor, ¿me ayudas contigo? Empezamos.
Ahí te pasa el... Hi, I'm Karina Alonso. Welcome to Mexico. I'm from Open and Viernes Magazine. And my question is about the collaboration you were doing a few days ago with Ricky and Mal.
Yeah.
What kind of music will it be? Because your styles are very different.
Well, I mean, two things. First of all, we just, one of the things that's amazing is that we've been able to make music for a long time, and one of the beautiful things about that is you see how your music has reached people at different places, different times. And they're both said, we love HANSON. And so they asked me to come down and write some songs with them for their project. They were amazing, really incredibly talented and very warm, and we wrote a great song. So there's no plans for the release yet.
It's probably up to them what they decide to do with it exactly.
They were incredibly hospitable, and it was just a joy to work with them. And they were real HANSON fans. They really follow the band, so that was an honor. And we'll see. We'll tell you as soon as we know.
Thank you very much.
Continuamos, por favor.
Hi, Michael from Wiki TV. In just 30 years, you are now in all the world. But what is the importance that Mexico had in this journey for your career?
Well, based on the magazine this morning, it seems like tequila is the most important thing to us. The Mexican country, you guys are very warm. We've always felt very welcome, and the fans are enthusiastic. You know, there's no very excited, and there's a reason why we're playing many shows in Mexico. Is that we really appreciate that, and we've seen the support for years. So I think music is in one sense, it brings people together and it makes all of us feel the same. You know, we all feel very connected. Like you go around the world, you feel the same. But we feel like we have a relationship with fans in Mexico because we've come many times.
Ok, lo que dijeron es que basado en la portada del periódico que salió esta mañana, parece que el tequila es lo que los une más a México. México es un país muy cálido y los fans son muy entusiasmas y hay una razón por la que van a hacer tantos shows. El público mexicano siempre los ha recibido muy bien. Y México es un país que nos une a todos y nos hace sentir iguales y el público mexicano es muy cálido.
Muchas gracias. Vamos con una pregunta de Guadalajara, de Carla Dueñas, Éxtasis Digital, el programa New Classics. Dani, ¿me ayudas, por favor? ¿Creen que la manera en la que se consume música hoy en día ha cambiado? ¿Y cómo se relacionan los fans con los artistas?
Do you think the way people consume music now has changed from the past, and how does it relate to the connection between the artist and the fans?
I mean, it's changed a lot. I mean, the craziest thing to me about the last 25 years is really how much has changed. I think the most important thing about this tour is actually that playing shows is a different relationship than listening to music.
It's very important.
And it's a very important thing to be able to be in the room with fans and playing the show, because just because you like listening to something doesn't mean you necessarily go to a concert. So you have to give people new reasons to be there. And I think for us, every show that we play is different, and we do that on purpose because it's important to make it fresh and interesting every night. And so these shows will all be unique and special for each different city and each different set of fans.
Carla también pregunta, ¿qué opinan sobre las redes sociales? ¿Ha cambiado para bien la forma en la que conectamos con los artistas en los 90s?
What do you think about social media? Has it changed for the better the way artists can connect with fans since the 90s?
Well, I would say, I think the real risk of social media is that artists forget to be artists, and instead they become sort of icons. You know, they become celebrities. Really, our job is to tell these stories that connect to people. That they're not. It's not about so much what it is for us. It's about what it becomes for the fan, for the listener. And so I think that's really, social media is incredibly powerful, incredibly good, as long as the result isn't that we all start copying each other because that person's more famous than me, or that person has more followers, so I need to do what they're doing. Our job is to find the thing that no one's doing yet and help tell that story and give it to the audience. And to the people celebrate their individual voice that they share from where they are. So it is positive in general, but no question, there's a challenge to it.
Seguimos con la pregunta de la chica. Gracias.
Hello guys,
Hello.
thank you for coming back. Gabriela from Indie 505. Do the colors of your new album have any special meaning?
They do, yeah. Go for it. Well, I mean, the three colors all the way back to our youth. We were sort of associated with those colors. I don't know, blame our mom for it, you know. Our toothbrushes, you know. But we...
Red, green, and
Yeah,
blue.
red, green, blue. So I'm very fiery. And the symbol, this record is a 3-part album. Each of us took 5 songs and led the creative process, writing, producing. And so I think the symbolism is sort of saying Taylor Isaac Zach. And those colors, I think they speak to our maybe personalities or to our interests, or we resonate with those colors. And so it's a way of titling the album without titling it in a more traditional way.
I would say also it has a double meaning. The double meaning is, well, these are 3 unique colors that make up this band. And so I think it's a way of saying, this is HANSON in its total, but it's HANSON as individual parts. And so you understand how each member of this band has had an effect on the things you've been hearing for the last 30 years. And we felt like that was an important thing. It felt like a good creative exercise. We're 30 years and 3-part album. I don't know.
Ok, mencionan que son los colores de su juventud, ya que su mamá les daba ese tipo de colores cuando eran pequeños. El simbolismo también está en 3, porque hablan de quiénes son y de cómo resuenan con estos colores. Además tiene un significado doble, pues significa como HANSON como un todo, y además ellos 3 como individuos, y como desde hace 30 años cada uno se ha involucrado en la música.
Muchas gracias, Dani. Vamos con la pregunta por acá, por favor.
Hi. Welcome to Mexico. My name is Citlalli Bejarano from Elocuencia. I'm translating because my English is very bad.
Not as bad
Speak in
as
Spanish.
Muy bien. Mi español es muy
Thank
malo.
you.
Muy poquito.
It's the same. Okay. Bueno, yo les quiero preguntar precisamente que 30 años se dicen fácil, pero bueno, sí me gustaría saber todo lo que han atravesado para llegar hasta ahorita, que ha sido lo más difícil que han tenido que atravesar para llegar a este momento, y bueno, pues también saber acerca de la gira que vamos a tener.
So,
Thank you.
she says that 30 years are said very easily, but it's a long journey. She wants to know what has been the toughest part, and she wants to know what we can expect from the tour here in Mexico.
Dude, should we answer this?
Honestly?
The hardest part is being in a band with your brothers, for God's sake.
I mean, I think there's many jokes that could be made, and they would all be true. But I think, having any journey, we use a phrase, the journey is the destination. Like the trip, the climbing, the going, the different things, And so I think our career is made up of lots of little challenges, highs and lows. And what's made it possible is the belief in what you're doing, the interest in what's next, and I think the greatest challenge, I think, for anybody that's trying to have a longevity is to see the long picture. You know, to not wake up anxious about every day, but to ask, well, what can I do today, and then what can I do tomorrow, and to believe in what you're doing. The good thing about our music for us is we make something that we're proud of. So if someone listens to it, that's just a bonus, right? We win no matter what. We're proud of what we make. And I think that's a really important key for any creator. I would say, please don't make things you think others will like. Make things you believe in, and then you will have something no matter what. And you know, and also gratitude to our fans. I mean, to the community of fans that have been very loyal and have gone with us.
Yeah. No, I would say, you know, one thing that you have to think about when being a band for 30 years is easy to say, but it's that we've been a band since I was 6. First time we came to Mexico, I was maybe 15, 14, right? And so even though we're deeply connected and very close as brothers, there's so many changes in your life that happen that you have to figure out how to grow together and not grow apart. And I think you could look at this album in 2 ways. You could say, oh, it's very separate. It's very Isaac and Taylor and Zach. But see, the way I see it was, in a band, we are always seen as one. We are HANSON. We are brothers. We are together. It's hard for me to admire Taylor or to support Isaac. And at this point in our career, I think it was a way for us to say, I want to see what Taylor wants to do, just him, and be able to stand on stage together and support him and what he created. And that's important to continue to grow together as a band, to recognize each other as you go into yet another decade, a 4th decade of being a band.
And more.
Long answer, sorry.
Thank you.
Listo. Estar en una banda con tus hermanos puede prestarse a muchas bromas y a muchas cosas que se pueden hacer. Y todas las bromas serían reales. Pero nosotros tenemos una frase en la que el camino es el destino. Y nuestra carrera está hecha de altas y bajas. Lo que lo hace posible es creer en lo que haces. El mayor reto es verlo como un todo. Despertar cada día con qué puedo hacer hoy y qué puedo hacer mañana. Hacemos algo de lo que estamos orgullosos. Y si alguien lo escucha, es un bonus. Hay que creer en las cosas que haces. No creer que estás haciendo algo que va a gustar. Nuestros fans han sido muy leales con nosotros y se han quedado a través de estos 30 años. Estar en una banda es difícil. Cuando empezamos tenía 6 años y vine a México por primera vez a los 14. Se trata de crecer juntos en vez de crecer separándonos. Como lo veo es que en una banda siempre vamos a ser uno, como hermanos, y a veces puede ser difícil admirarlos o entenderlos. Pero también se trata de poder estar juntos y apoyarnos para seguir creciendo como una banda y reconocernos entrando a una década nueva.
Gracias. Por allá atrás tengo una pregunta.
Yeah. Hi. Germán Gallardo from Chavos Banda. I don't know if you're aware, there is this kind of new tradition here in Mexico where whenever an artist comes into stage, there's a part of the concert where somebody throws a Dr. SIMI to the stage.
Yes, we've seen posts about this.
Yeah, and it's always like Twitter goes crazy. Like whatever you do with that Dr. SIMI, it's very important. Some people care about it, some people don't care about it. Do you know what you're going to do when that happens? Because it's going to happen a lot.
Well, it hasn't happened yet. Well, I made this plan for when 500 of them end up on stage and nobody throws anything.
I think it seems like a very loving, good tradition,
Yeah.
and so we will try and greet it with the same affection. You know, a lot of hugging, I guess.
I'm just glad I'm at the back of the stage.
Yeah, they can't-
They'll have to throw very hard to hit me. You know, the drums are a shield.
Es algo que no ha pasado aún, pero les parece una tradición muy amorosa. Tratarán de recibirla con la misma afectividad con la que se las dan. Creen que van a abrazarlo mucho y también comentan que tendrán que aventarlo muy muy fuerte para que llegue.
I think our kids might get a lot more stuffed animals, right?
I think our children will appreciate the tradition as well.
Why did you come home with all
I brought all of this for you.
It's from Mexico.
from Mexico?
Bueno, mencionan que probablemente sus hijos van a recibir muchos nuevos regalos y lo agradecerán mucho de parte de México.
Gracias. Vamos con otra pregunta de Guadalajara. Es de Sara Hidalgo, de Jalisco TV y del programa Cultura Pop. Perdón, de Jalisco TV, el programa es Cultura Pop. Pregunta, HANSON es un ícono en el rock pop. Hay merchandising, tazas, gorras, llaveros y hasta una cerveza. Cuéntenos de la creación de esa cerveza.
So she says that HANSON is an icon in the pop rock scene, and you have a lot of merchandising, keychains and sweatshirts and all kinds of that of stuff, including a beer. And she wants to know the story behind the beer.
The story behind the beer is partially that we were drinking beer, and we were on a bus, and we were like,
So
"This beer is great."
I can't speak to what it's been like in Mexico. In the U.S., in the last 10 years, there's been a real change in beer scene. And we experienced that naturally by drinking beer and traveling across the country and seeing all these small craft breweries popping up. And so one night, the question just sort of jumped into the head, man, if we made a beer,
That would be really cool.
that would be awesome.
We should make our own
it
beer.
taste like, right? What would we call it? When someone said hops, we liked the idea of doing beer, but then we said, this is just, we have to do this.
Well, we chuckled a lot because we thought, Bob, hops, that's funny.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious.
It's not, it's
Hops.
It's a declaration of it tastes good. But then there was a journey. I mean, there was a journey to figure out kind of who we would brew it with. We're not brewers by profession. We're drinkers by profession. And we knew the kind of beers we liked. And it just took some time to find someone who could help us create that flavor. And then it kind of blossomed into a bigger thing. We've done a beer and music festival in Oklahoma. It's the biggest in the region for that. And it's been kind of a great thing to add, especially when you think about, what goes better with music than
And craft beer.
Cerveza.
Cuentan que en la historia de la cerveza es literalmente que pues la estaban viviendo en el autobús. En Estados Unidos la historia de los últimos 10 años es que la escena ha ido cambiando y al atravesar el país tomando cerveza un día surgió la duda de pues, qué pasaría si tuviéramos nuestra propia cerveza, que sería algo muy cool. Luego empezaron a preguntarse cómo se llamaría. Un día decidieron que lo harían y que sería divertido. Sin embargo, ellos saben tomar cerveza, pero no saben cómo se hace. Así que decidieron crearla junto con una persona. Esto empezó a crecer, se convirtió en un festival en Oklahoma y pues básicamente acaba mejor con la música que en la cerveza.
Vamos contigo.
Hola chicos, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Angie, de la Todología de May. Tengo una pregunta que a mí me parece interesante porque ¿qué tanto ha evolucionado, qué tanto sienten ustedes que ha evolucionado su música a lo largo de estos 30 años, ya que ustedes básicamente han respetado su estilo desde el principio? Y la otra es, ¿qué tanto les ha favorecido hacer vidas separadas actualmente con respecto a esa parte musical y el convivir como familia?
Vamos con la primera para que la pueda traducir. Quédate con el micrófono, por favor. Sí, la primera si quieres y que te repita la segunda.
So, how much has your music evolved? Because you've stuck very close to your roots and your sound. So, how much has your music evolved?
Well, I mean, you're always learning, you're always growing. Hopefully we're better. But I think our roots, I mean, we have kept our roots. We've always been proud of soul music and earth and rock and roll, and we're a band. I mean, it's still organic. It's not just a computer. We play band as a rock and roll band. But I think mostly you always have a picture in your head of what you imagine as a songwriter, because really writing songs is sort of the foundation of where we come from. Writing pop songs and writing melodic songs, and so you really get better and better at capturing the vision that you have in your head. And I think it's evolved. You know, we've brought in more and more influences of people we respect, like Jim Scott, who's a legendary producer and mixer and that worked on this record, and he's worked with Tom Petty and the Chili Peppers and, you know, incredible artists. And so I think more than anything, our voice has evolved to become more, you know,
Literally and
deeper and richer because of your experiences and your physicality. Say no more.
Your evolution is natural. So I think we've probably evolved a lot, but to us it has been one step at a time. And so I don't even know what genre we are anymore. You know, we've done so many things along the way, but I think it's really the richness of your life that pours into your songs and the stories you're talking about, the stories you're telling, the topics that grow the most. You know, going from being a child to being an adult to being a parent of, you know, many children.
I apologize for the translation, but I mean, if you listen to HANSON, if you know the band, you know that you'll be listening and you'll be hearing Queen 1 minute, and then you'll be hearing Billy Joel, and you'll be hearing the Beatles, and then you'll be hearing, you know, something that's more funk or, you know, Stax Volt or Motown. I mean, we're sort of like many bands in one, and I think that's
we're a red band, a green band, and a blue band. Yeah.
So we'll stop.
Bien, la otra pregunta era, ¿qué tanto creen que ha afectado el que ustedes ya hagan sus vidas individuales con respecto a esa parte de la hermandad y continuar trabajando como banda?
So, how has it affected leading individual lives and your own families with being a band? How has it interfered?
It's a very interesting balance.
The band is the other woman.
That's true. Yeah.
We have a woman
or your first. It's like your first marriage or something weird like that.
I think you know, anyone who works in a very, very creative field understands it's very involved, because it's not a spreadsheet. It's kind of your heart and your voice and your thoughts, and so you never leave that anywhere. You're always thinking about that, but I don't think that has to be a bad thing, and all of us each have different balances, right? You can even see it in the sizes of our families. 5 children, 3 children, 7 children, right? We balance differently. We need different things, but we've grown up learning to make it part of your life, not something that takes over your life. And I think that's been a real benefit for starting young. You see that it's something you're doing, but not who you are, and that allows you to have a healthy relationship with being an artist and being in front of people and playing concerts and kind of dealing with the love from fans. You know, like, this is something I do, not who I am, not what makes me good or bad.
Ok, referente a la primera respuesta, platican que siempre estás aprendiendo y siempre estás creciendo. Ellos esperan poder ser mejores, pero siempre mantenerse cercanos a su origen. Siempre están con el soul, con el rock, y es algo orgánico, pero tocan como una banda de rock, y eso es lo que siempre tienen en su cabeza, el cómo va a sonar. Ellos creen que pues te vas haciendo mejor mientras vas creando la visión que tienes en tu cabeza. Ellos tienen influencias como Jim Scott, quien ha trabajado con Tom Petty y Red Hot Chili Peppers. Esto ha ido evolucionando para ser más rico y para más profunda cada una de sus experiencias. La evolución es natural, pero es un paso a la vez, así que pues ya no saben qué género son. Sin embargo, pues se trata de la riqueza de su vida y de poder ser un niño a volverse un adulto, ahora ser papás. Si escuchas a HANSON y conoces a la banda, te das cuenta que simplemente puede ser Queen, luego puede ser The Beatles, luego puede ser algo más punk, pero pues son muchas bandas en una: la banda roja, la banda azul y la banda verde. Y finalmente, para la segunda respuesta, comentan que es un balance interesante, ya que la banda puede ser como la otra mujer o ese primer matrimonio. Cualquiera que trabaje en un área creativa se da cuenta de cuándo está su voz y sus pensamientos, y siempre están como pensando en eso. Sin embargo, encuentran el balance cosa que se puede ver en sus familias, con sus hijos, ya que crecieron a aprender que la música es parte de su vida, no el centro de ella.
Gracias, Dani.
Muy bien.
Esta pregunta es de León, Guanajuato. Es Georgina Villanueva de TV Azteca. Pregunta: cuando empezaron en la música eran demasiado jóvenes. ¿Cómo sienten este regreso a la música y los escenarios? ¿Creen que algo cambió?
When you started in music, you were very young. How do you feel this return to the stage after the pandemic and everything? Do you
Well-
feel that something has changed?
We're all,
I think everybody, including us, the fans, us, is
musicians.
extremely grateful that we're doing this. It's exciting to be on stage, and also, I mean, this is one of our biggest tours we've ever done.
Most cities. I'm
Most
sure.
cities, yeah, 90 shows in one tour. And so this has been a really exciting time. It's been a time to reconnect, and I think the word gratefulness is a very appropriate word. We're very grateful that we get the chance to be on stage and to see the fans. And there is a lot of things to be proud of, and a lot of things to celebrate. You get to stand on stage and bring people along with you. You say, here's our past, here's our present, and maybe here's our future, all in one moment. And you're doing it together, and you're bringing people together from all different parts of the world and all different parts of your country and things like this. And we're all singing music together. And it makes the world a better place one song at a time. So we're grateful.
Gracias. Vamos con otra pregunta aquí, por favor.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Soy Luis Felipe Hernández de la revista social Hoy. Bueno, mi pregunta es, ¿qué opinan ustedes de esta competencia con estos fenómenos como el K-pop, el J-pop, el K-pop, inclusive hasta el Mexican pop? Ajá. Y bueno, y la segunda pregunta es, ¿nos van a cantar el famoso M-Bop ahora en este concierto y esos legendarios éxitos con los que crecimos muchos que somos de la misma generación? Gracias.
Okay, so he wants to know what do you think about the competition that's going on with the K-pop and all of the pops, and he wants to know if we'll be hearing Bop on the tour.
Oh, I thought he was saying, are we going to start our own genre called pop?
Yeah, that would be a really good idea.
It's the new. We have a
We
whole.
should do that.
We have a whole machine. We bring them in. We train them on
That would be
Isaac likes
amazing.
that idea.
I really like that. I really like the idea of becoming the musical Svengali. Be like, all right, listen.
You're the
kid.
funny one.
Yeah, you're the rebel. All right, here's the songs. You sing these. Okay.
Okay.
No.
Good luck translating this.
We understand
Music is
that.
always changing, and I think pop, like really pop, clean pop, comes in waves, where all of a sudden you see like lots and lots of very, 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 produced, and then it sinks and you get more organic things coming. But there's always been pop music. There's always been more gritty, organic, music. I think there's room for all of it, and we will be playing Bop on the tour. We're glad to play Bop on the tour.
Exactly. Absolutely. No question. So, one other comment. I actually think that MTV should do a death match between K-pop and J-pop and things like this. The animated claymation. We fought against the Spice Girls back in the day, and then Marilyn Manson killed all of us. So I think that we need to see something like that.
Yes, death match between K-pop and J-pop.
Yeah, exactly. Got it.
Be amazing.
I'm sorry.
That's the headline for everyone. Hanson wants a death match.
No, that's not what we meant.
We'll be the ones that kill him.
Kill them.
Okay.
Good luck translating that. Lo siento.
Cuando empezó la pregunta creían que se referían a si iban a tener su propio género Bop. Creen que sería una gran idea, un poco bromeando sobre el tema. Hablan de que la música siempre está cambiando y el pop viene en olas. A veces puede ser más orgánico y pues hay espacio para todo. Definitivamente van a tocar Bop en el tour. Y finalmente creen que MTV debería tener un deathmatch, el programa de los 90s, entre el K-pop y el pop, y tener una animación en la que peleen entre ellos, así como ellos lo tuvieron cuando eran jóvenes contra Britney y
Las
Marilyn
Spice
Manson.
Girls.
Contra las Spice Girls, y Marilyn Manson llegó a matarlos a todos.
Oh, yeah.
Muy bien.
I'm sorry.
You did good.
Gracias, Dani. Vamos ahora a Querétaro con Carlos González, que nos pregunta: ¿cuál consideran que es el momento más emblemático de su trayectoria como HANSON?
What do you think is the most emblematic moment in your career as HANSON?
Well, I think first impressions die hard. And I think obviously so many people immediately connect with us as teenagers, you know, when our first record and when songs like Bop and Where's the Love and Weird came out.
But I think the things that we're probably most proud of over time are starting a record company and becoming independent again, and you know, songs like Penny and Me that were back in 2004 that represent a new era, and playing with the symphony orchestras, you know, on our String Theory project, where we were the orchestras, just in being some of the most iconic music venues ever. Those moments really reflect more why we're here this many years later, which is interest in the story, interest in the music, and then having the fans really join us and come on this journey. But of course, you know, the introduction is very big. You know, with Bob, people know that very clearly. But hopefully, over time, you know, the takeaway from HANSON is that it's a band that is writing songs with meaning, but at the same time with joy. I mean, our music is not just happy, but it's sort of optimistic, looking for the positive story somewhere.
Las primeras impresiones no mueren. La gente conectó con ellos desde que eran adolescentes y con sus primeras canciones. Pero de lo que están más orgullosos es de tener su propia empresa. Esto representó para ellos una nueva era. Incluso cuando tuvieron una orquesta que los estuvo acompañando. La introducción o la primera impresión es importante, y HANSON se trata de hacer canciones que significan algo, pero que también son alegres y optimistas.
Gracias. Vamos con una pregunta por acá.
Hi guys, my name is Juan Zarate from Cultura Mainstream. Earlier this year, you already had the chance to perform before the Mexican audience as a surprise act on a festival, a huge festival.
Yeah.
How was that welcome like, and how did that prepare you for what's to come this month?
Well, first of all, I mean, it's one of the very few times that we've had the opportunity to do that, and so that was really, really fun to be able to play for a lot of people who had no idea we were going to be there, and probably some people that were like, "Wait, what?" You know, so that was really fun. You're always looking for opportunities to play for people that are not your audience, because they're reaching new people, and so there was a combination of people that know you and a combination of people that don't, and so that's always exciting for us. And as far as preparing us for this show, I mean, our show is normally a lot longer than 2 songs. So you know, it will be.
When we played, we said this was great. We should do this more.
Exactly.
And now, this coming week, we get to say we're going to give you more than you even want as the audience.
And what kind of show can we expect?
I mean, the show is long. We have a lot of albums to catch up on with one tour. So it's in a 2-hour or more show, you know, and we try and take pieces from different albums throughout the project, of course, new music, and we celebrate the records, the songs people know from the first record. You know. More than anything, it's engaging. I mean, live music is alive. Right? It's not, you know, arm's length. It should be engaging. You should jump. You should clap. You should stomp. You should sing. And so that's what you experience at a HANSON show. We want people to feel like for 2 hours, they can turn off everything else. They can be present. And so hopefully that's what you get at the shows.
Thank you so much.
And a lot of sweat, too.
I think also too, probably the show is probably a lot kind of more rock than I think people expect sometimes. You know what I mean? Not our fans. They know, but yeah. But there's a lot of guitars and a lot of fun things.
Primero que nada, es de las pocas veces en las que hemos tenido la oportunidad de hacerlo. La gente no sabía que íbamos a estar ahí y fue muy divertido. Siempre tocar para gente que no nos conoce es emocionante. Nuestro show normalmente es más largo que solo 2 canciones, así que platicamos y dijimos deberíamos tocar más, por lo que ahora les daremos más de lo que querían. Tenemos muchos álbums, por lo que el concierto durará 2 horas o más y celebraremos pues con todas las canciones. La música en vivo es eso, música viva. Deberías poder saltar, gritar, aplaudir y esperamos que la gente pueda sentir por 2 horas que pueden estar presentes. Ojalá eso tengan, además de mucho sudor. El concierto es más rock de lo que la gente espera a veces, pero hay muchas guitarras y mucha diversión.
Vamos con una pregunta de Guadalajara, del periódico El Informador. Es Quique Esparzo, que también cubre para Rosa Distrito. ¿Qué opinión les merece la música urbana?
What's your opinion on urban music?
Like rap, hip hop.
That's a really broad genre. I think the answer is there's lots of really good stuff and lots of really bad stuff, because it's just like anything. There's things you love and there's things you don't love. I mean,
we're not the experts on the subject, but
yeah.
One thing that is happened with I think urban music, which I think you're referring to, hip hop and rap and rhythmic music, is it's rhythmic. I mean, you see like with the success even of like the production of reggaeton and like the crossover of styles. I think people love to dance. Rhythm is powerful, and so I think it's really exciting to see there's a fusion of all the styles. I think are fusing. People are pulling different influences. So I guess generally it's great.
¿Les interesaría probar con algún estilo de música latina?
Would you be interested in trying of diving into Latin music?
I mean, why not?
Yeah. I mean, I think the challenge is always, I think as the next few years go on, I think we've reached a point in our lives where, we've been doing this together for a really long time, and I think all of us are looking for other outlets beyond just the band, and we have over the years, but I think we'll continue to pursue some collaborations and things like that in a different way than we have in the past. Just because I think we've all reached that point where we feel very comfortable where we are and look forward to these new moments.
Ok, referente a la primera pregunta, comentan que es un género muy amplio, como todo hay cosas buenas y malas, cosas que nos gustan y no. No son expertos en el tema, pero mencionan que es un tipo de música muy rítmica y que el ritmo les parece muy poderoso. La gente tiene diferentes influencias en este género y eso les parece increíble. Referente a la segunda pregunta, mencionan que llevan haciendo esto muchos años, así que están buscando espacios fuera de la banda y persiguiendo colaboraciones diferentes, ya que están muy cómodos donde están y quieren encontrar cosas nuevas.
Gracias, Dani. Vamos con otra pregunta por acá.
Esperanza Bejarano de Carreras Mesa. Bueno, mi pregunta es si en este disco tienen algún invitado especial y también si tienen alguna canción dedicada a la familia, ya que ustedes son muy unidos a su familia.
So she wants to know if there are any featurings on this album and if there are any songs dedicated to your family, since you're very close to your family.
Well, yeah, a little bit of both. One of the song Don't Let Me Down, features Zach Myers from a big rock band called Shine Down. And he plays lead guitar throughout the whole album. And guess in the video? Yeah, in the music video. If you watch the music video, it also features, he's in it, Zach Myers is in it, but Frankie Muniz is the lead in the music video for that song, which was really fun. He's been a good friend for a long time. And we also, our younger brother, the actual fourth Hanson brother, wrote and directed the music video for that. So it kind of made it a collaboration behind the camera and in front of the camera.
Our brother Mac actually also wrote one of the songs on the green portion of the record. There's a song called Greener Pastures that he wrote. It's his song. And then he and I collaborated and wrote a song called No Matter the Reason, which is also on that portion of the record. And the single that was the second single from the album is a song that was written for my daughter, and she's actually in the music video. And it was just, she said to me one day, she said, "Daddy, I don't have a song. You've never written me a song." And so I decided I should write her a song. So people can have a moment and listen to that. It's definitely it's a personal song about relationships and connection and being together.
But also about that idea. It's called Write You a Song.
It is called Write You a Song.
I'm gonna write you a song.
So you'll never be lonely.
Menciona que hay un poco de ambas. Don't Let Me Down es con Zach Myers, quien toca la guitarra y además está en el video, y es un gran amigo. Además, su hermano más pequeño, quien es el verdadero cuarto HANSON, es quien dirigió el video. Su hermano Mac también escribió una canción y fue colaborador en una de ellas, de una de las 3 partes del álbum. Y el segundo sencillo está escrito para su hija. Está en ese álbum, ya que ella le mencionó que no tenía una canción escrita por él. Así que ahora la gente puede tener un momento escuchando eso. Es una canción sobre estar cerca y para que ella nunca esté sola.
Oh, muchísimas gracias. Gracias, felicidades. También quería saber que aparte de su música y de la familia, lógicamente, ¿qué otra pasión tienen?
Aside from music and your families, what other passions do you have?
Oh gosh, I mean everyone is very different in their curiosities. I mean, for me, I love lots of things. I love photography. I love cooking. I love travel, which is a good job for that. Yeah, I mean, just working with being around people that are sort of passionate about what they do, like that excites me. So just new experiences, something that's always keeping you fresh and keeping you motivated.
Yeah, I mean, visual arts. I always love drawing and painting and drawing comics. A little comic I draw sometimes. And then more recently, I started...
you have a comic online, Peter and Stalwart.
It's called Peter and Stalwart. It's about a Viking and a boy. And then I love playing video games. I'm always traveling playing video games, and recently I've started streaming my video game playing with my 14-year-old son. So the two of us sit and play and hang out with people watching, and it's a totally different kind of entertainment, but something I've always done since I was a kid, and just kind of love getting to share it.
I'm the boring brother. I like books about psychology.
And bourbon.
And bourbon, yes. Which, by the way, works really well when you're sitting around talking with people about their thoughts.
You get smarter the more bourbon you have.
No,
I mean, I
you do
think
not.
You just discovered your new podcast, Books and Bourbon.
Books and bourbon, that's right.
Ok, mencionan que todos son diferentes en sus curiosidades. Primero aman la fotografía y conocer, también viajar, que pues es un muy buen trabajo para eso. También le emociona trabajar con gente, ya que esto les permite nuevas experiencias. Además, les gustan las artes visuales, dibujar cómics y pintar. De hecho, tienen un cómic sobre un vikingo y un chico. Además, le gusta jugar videojuegos, hacer streaming con su hijo de 14 años, ya que es un entretenimiento muy diferente que hace desde que era pequeño. Y finalmente, les mencionan que es el más aburrido, ya que le gustan los libros de psicología y el bourbon, como whisky. Y ahora cree que debería tener un podcast llamado Libros y Bourbon.
My first love is probably radio, actually. So maybe I should just do a podcast and just call it a day.
Hola chicos, aquí para hacer nota. Quisiera preguntarles cómo hacen para sus tres, obviamente cada uno tiene sus gustos musicales, sus gustos personales, cómo hacen para comulgar, para poder llevar esa conexión que presentan en el escenario a sus fans y llevarlo, pues, obviamente comulgar con el resto del mundo en sus giras y pues poder tener este tipo de respuesta que logran en cada una de sus presentaciones.
So, each and every one of you is very different. You all have your own tastes and likes and everything. How do you meet at a halfway point to make such a great show on stage and be able to transmit to the fans all over the world to music. And
We arm wrestle before the show.
Well, I mean, one thing that's interesting. First of all, thank you.
Isaac loses a lot.
Yeah,
I lose all the time.
The thing about
change the plans.
our differences have usually been the strength. You know, you can. All right. No. Hello. Good morning. Everybody doesn't play the same instrument. Everyone doesn't sing the same part. Otherwise, it would just be everyone sitting on Zach's drums. You know, and so I think that the differences are part of what makes a band. It's like when you have a sports team, everyone has different positions and you win together. So I think really that dynamic, there are days where what you want to do just clashes, you know, and you don't usually do that song. You know? So I think when you build on the things that are common strength, and then you also build on history. You know, when you learned certain things, you become a sort of an expert on certain qualities that you know you can do exceptionally well together. Like singing together. We started harmonizing, just the three of us, and that's something that, as brothers, as singers, like we know we do something different than most bands in that way. And so you try and find your strengths, and you lean away from the weaknesses wherever you can.
Antes que nada, muchas gracias. Mencionan que sus diferencias son sus fortalezas, ya que todos tocan instrumentos diferentes y cantan cosas diferentes. Las diferencias los hacen una banda, es como cuando tienes un equipo de deporte y también a veces no funciona y entonces no tocan esa canción. También construyen sobre su historia, te vuelves un experto en las cualidades que puedes tener juntos. Empezaron haciendo armonías, pero como hermanos y como banda saben que hay cosas que pueden hacer diferentes y cosas que pueden hacer increíblemente bien.
Gracias.
Sí. Leti Arroyo de Gypsy TV. Bienvenidos. Me gustaría saber, aparte de las canciones que tienen de contenido familiar, si se refleja esta madurez, que agradezco porque tienen esta vibra juvenil. Muchas gracias por transmitirla. ¿De qué hablan sus canciones en estos nuevos contenidos? Si tienen algún tema más social o tienen algún tema relacionado pues con la pandemia.
She wants to know how have the songs matured over the years, if there are any songs on this new material that are about social environments, or if there are any songs about the pandemic.
Well, first of all, the music, I mean, we mentioned it a little bit before, but it's very hard to say how you matured. We didn't change styles and start doing hip hop, you know, or completely change, genres, but we're always growing. I mean, you're pulling in influences from everything around you.
I mean, I think you can hear it if you listen to blue songs, red songs, or green songs. You hear the differences in personality and the way that each one of us approach music, and that's not the whole story. That's just part of it. And you can hear how that, in other albums, how each one of us have influenced each other in different ways as well.
Regarding the pandemic, I think we felt like everybody's heard enough about the pandemic.
Yeah, we're over it.
Yeah, I mean, we all are. Meaning, we've lived through a very difficult and it's continued a stressful time for the whole world. And the theme that we're most interested in is actually, finding your way through challenges. Whether it's overcoming a relationship struggle or a big, deep personal challenge, or being there for someone that's hurting. And so those themes are in these songs everywhere. And you hear it on all of our music, and especially we released music during 2021 called Against the World, another album last year, and it had a lot of those themes. So we're all influenced. A partner of ours that we worked with on an album, great producer, said, the job of the artist is to reflect the world around them and take those things in, and then be able to share those things through their songs, however that comes out. So everybody doesn't have the ability to put it into a song. So for us, you hear our experiences, and that's what Red, Green, Blue is.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. They brought up the album Against the World, which was released last year. And it was interesting. We didn't write that album about the pandemic. It was written beforehand, but when you hear it, you hear these messages that really connect. Songs like Stronger, or songs like, there's a song called One on there, which sort of speaks to this idea of people tearing each other apart when they should be sort of coming together. And this album, you know, I think for my part, you know, it starts, there's a song called Bad, is the first portion of the Blue, which really reflects on the idea of the world and how people judge you and how people try and control you and affect you, right? And saying, I don't want to be a part of that, right? But it sort of flips by the end. The last song in the album is called Where I Belong. And it really says, like, but we're all still searching for that connection to other people. We don't want people to tell us who we need to be, but we want to find people that are like us, that we can share with, because ultimately we don't want to live alone. I mean, music brings people together because a healthy world has connections. So heavy.
We can go there sometimes.
Ok, primero que nada, es rico saber, o sea, bueno, es necesario entender que no saben cómo maduraron, ya que no cambiaron de género, pero siempre están creciendo y siempre están teniendo influencias diferentes. Pero cuando escuchas los colores del álbum, te das cuenta que igual en otros álbumes hay más color dentro de la música que hacen. Creo que todos ya escuchamos demasiado sobre la pandemia y obviamente fue muy difícil y muy estresante para el mundo, pero la cosa es que están más interesados en poder estar ahí para la gente cuando les duele algo, para poder aportar algo con su música. En 2021 sacaron un álbum que justamente hablaba mucho de eso y creen que el trabajo del artista es reflejar el mundo alrededor y poder exponerlo en una canción, poder escuchar sus experiencias en el álbum Red, Green and Blue. En el álbum que salió el año pasado no fue sobre la pandemia, lo escribieron desde antes, sin embargo tiene canciones que pueden aplicar para la pandemia, de no alejarte cuando deberíamos estar todos juntos. A veces se trata de ver cómo el mundo te afecta y de no querer ser parte de eso. La última canción del álbum dice que todos estamos buscando conexión con la gente y queremos encontrar con quien compartir. No queremos vivir solos, ya que la música nos une, porque un mundo así es.
Gracias, Dani.
Buenos días, José Luis Rocha de Untitled Guanajuato y Revista Digital La Alegría Mexicana. La pregunta es, ¿se establecerá una agenda para visitar México? ¿Qué ciudades estarán en su plan y qué ciudades se quedaron ahorita en el tintero?
Perdóname, las ciudades están ahí atrás. Entonces, en un futuro, okay. Otro tour, ¿qué otro plan?
So he wants to know if after this tour there will be another tour where you come to Mexico, and which cities would you like to visit on the next tour?
Well, let's say this. This is the most cities we've ever played on one tour in Mexico. And several places like Leon were coming for the first time. But we would like,
as well.
Yeah, we would like this to be the new normal. We would like, if the fans will come back, then we would like to be coming and playing 5 and 6, and as many shows as we can in Mexico. We really do enjoy being here. We don't say that about all places.
We're also probably going to take a nap after we finish this tour.
Long nap.
So we may not, you may not see us immediately, but I think the ability to come back and tour is something we're very proud of and excited to return.
Digamos esto, son la mayor cantidad de ciudades en las que hemos venido en la vida. Es la primera vez que venimos a León y queremos que esta sea la nueva normalidad. Si los fans vienen a vernos, nos gustaría poder regresar a hacer más shows, ya que nos gusta estar en México. También queremos tomar una siesta larga terminando este tour, así que puede que no nos vean pronto, pero definitivamente volveremos.
Gracias, Dani. Gabriel Lozano, del Líder Informativo de Guadalajara, les pregunta, ¿qué recuerdo más significativo tienen de su primera visita a México?
What is the most significant memory you have from your first visit to Mexico?
Well, the first time we came to Mexico was mostly just promotional. You know, we didn't get to do full shows. You know, it would be like being here in this room.
But that's all.
But that's it. So we remember a lot of hotel rooms. No, but I mean, it's the fans. I mean, the energy. You know, when we used to go to record stores, I mean, they're all gone. I think going and appearing and doing an in-store and seeing fans waiting in the parking garage and waiting. I mean, just the enthusiasm. And also maybe cliche, but I mean, always still coming here. There's so much color. It's so bright, and there's such an energy in Mexico City, especially. We feel you feel very welcome, and I mean that was what we did the first time getting to play. We had an acoustic guitar and we'd play a few songs, and then we would go to the next place. So very busy.
Then I would always find myself going, why is the food in the U.S. not as good as it is here? I need to take all of this home with me.
Yeah. Simple answer.
La primera vez que vinimos a México fue sobre todo promocional y no hicimos shows completos, así que sobre todo lo que vimos fueron cuartos de hotel. Pero recordamos mucho la energía de los fans. Antes íbamos a tiendas de discos, que ahora no existen, a ver a los fans entrar, todo su entusiasmo esperándonos desde el estacionamiento. También puede ser un cliché, pero hay una gran energía en la Ciudad de México, especialmente en este lugar. Te sientes bienvenido. La primera vez que tocamos teníamos solo una guitarra acústica y pues siempre íbamos a la siguiente fecha. Sin embargo, siempre me preguntaba por qué la comida en Estados Unidos no es tan rica como la de México.
Chicos, Liliana Correcta de MX, aquí. Ustedes tenían estos eventos en playas paradisíacas solo para fans de 2 o 3 días. ¿Los piensan retomar y cuál es la diferencia de esta experiencia de más tiempo con sus fans a un concierto?
So you used to have these events mainly on beaches with fans that lasted 2 or 3 days.
Yes.
Are you planning on redoing this? And
We
what-
actually, I still have that.
I think you're talking about an event we call Back to the Island.
Yes.
Yeah. So every year we host it's what would we call it?
It's a destination concert.
Destination. Yeah.
It's a destination concert and festival. We did it one year in Mexico,
In Cancun.
in Cancun, and it was fantastic. It was on the beach, but mostly we've done it in Jamaica, and it's like a mini festival where everyone comes and stays at a resort and has a vacation, and we play concerts each night.
We take over the resort.
Yeah, we take over the whole resort, and the fans take the resort, and so it's like a destination, like almost like HANSON's United Nations. You know, everyone meets. You know, only there's not summits. There's more like drinking.
There's beer summits.
Dancing. But it's a great time. It's a celebration of community. Those events are a way to bring people together and have a great time as a fan community, and also something very different. So we'll be doing that in January of 2023 again in Jamaica.
Creo que hablas de vuelta a la isla. Cada año hacemos un concierto con destino. De hecho, un año lo hicimos en Cancún y fue increíble. Sobre todo lo hacemos en Jamaica. Es un mini festival donde todos tienen vacaciones y hay conciertos. Es como un Naciones Unidas de HANSON, pero que todos se conocen y hay mucha cerveza. Es una celebración de comunidad y de unirnos con los fans, algo muy diferente. En 2023 lo haremos en enero de nuevo en Jamaica.
Gracias. Vamos con la última pregunta, por favor.
Hi guys, Eduardo Martínez de El Trendy Top. Well, after this Mexico City shows and this tour, what other personal plans and like the band plans do you have?
We have not set the project that comes next. We have had many things one after the other, and I think we feel very much that we're very present on this tour and enjoying it, and we do have certain things that are a part of the community. Like we said, the island event. We have a fan festival where fans come to our hometown in Tulsa, Oklahoma, every year, and that continues. And then with projects, I think right now we're discussing what are the things we really want to do that are exciting. And at this point in the career, I think it is important be doing things that are challenging and that are different. It's not just, okay, time to make another album. So collaborations, unique styles. I mean, we mentioned we did a symphony project. We did, this album is unique. So we just haven't decided. So suggestions?
We're open to suggestions.
Maybe a Latin collaboration.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It is a good idea.
Yeah.
There are we do have many fans who are in Mexico and also places like Brazil. And
we need to work on our Spanish first.
Yeah.
Ok, no hemos definido lo que viene porque estamos muy presentes en este tour. Tenemos el evento de la isla, además un evento con fans en el que van a nuestra ciudad de origen, en Oklahoma. Tenemos muchas cosas emocionantes que vienen y en este punto de nuestra carrera tratamos de hacer cosas diferentes, no solo un álbum nuevo. Tal vez si ustedes tienen alguna sugerencia, se las agradeceríamos. Tenemos muchos fans en México, así que nos gustaría poder hacer algo, pero necesitamos mejorar nuestro español antes de eso.
Con esto damos por terminada la conferencia de prensa. Thank you, Hanson. Thank you very
Oh,
much.
gracias.
Any comments? Do you want to tell?
Thank you for coming out.
And,
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for your time and thank you for joining us this morning. Gracias. Gracias.
Thank you. Amigos, a ver si logramos que nos manden un saludo para todos ustedes los que están conectados. No se desconecten. Say hi to your fans in live. Okay, from Elocuencia. Thank you.